Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your I'm listening to Photo News Fix. Photo News Fix. This fix is brought to you by FroPack 2. FroPack 2 consists of 15 all-new custom Lightroom presets that are designed to help speed up your raw workflow, as well as give you a great starting point. To check out FroPack 2, head on over to FroKnowsPhoto.com/FroPack2. Over there, you can play with the sliders to see the befores and the afters, and if you decide they are for you, you can pick them up right now on sale. Or you can get FroPack 1 and FroPack 2 at a huge discount when you get the FroPack bundle. A big thank you to everybody who's already picked up FroPack 1 or FroPack 2. First up, Canon's at it again.
What did they leave out now?
Well, nothing, Dan, nothing yet. Last week, Canon filed 4 patents on some very interesting full-frame RF glass. There's the 16mm 1.4, 18 1.2, 24 1.2, and an 18mm f1. Personally, I'm not sure what benefits there are to ultra-wide-angle fast aperture lenses, but I'd like to find out. I think a 24 1.2 would be a pretty cool lens, but I'm not sure about an 18 1.2 because I've never really shot at a fixed 18mm lens. But I guess I could lock off my 14 to 24 at 18 to see if I like that angle of view.
Hates it.
But the question on my mind is, how freaking chody would an 18mm f1 be?
This is a giant.
According to the patent, the rear element would be bigger than the mount, and the lens might be nearly a half a foot long. Well, actually, when you think about it, a half a foot's not really that long, according to my ex. Oh wait, I was making fun of myself. Shit. Now there's one thing I bet this lens will have.
What's that?
A focus motor, Dan, unlike the Noct. Sick burn, bro. Next up, a few fixes ago, I did a story about Sigma announcing their 24-70 2.8 art lens for E-mount cameras. But
wait, aren't you forgetting something?
oh right, not only is it for the E-mount, it's also for the A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
H, I,
J, K,
L-Mount Alliance.
The problem with the announcement is they didn't tell us how much it would cost. Now my guess was, if I had to guess, and I do have to guess, it will be right around $1,199, give or take a few $100. And it looks like I was right, since I said give or take.
Actual retail price
$1,099. Yep, $1,100 for this lens is priced perfectly, considering Sony's 24-70 G Master clocks in at $2,200. Look, in the past I was super hesitant to use Sigma glass, but now half of my Sony kit bag is filled with Sigma art glass. This is going to be the perfect full-frame lens for people just getting an A7 III or an A7 R3 used. Now, what do you think about the price? Were you impressed? Next up, we have a story that just missed the fix last week.
We missed it.
Apple announced the long-rumored 16-inch MacBook Pro. The 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro is, get this, Dan, the fastest MacBook Pro ever.
Oh shit.
So what's the difference with the new model besides the 16-inch screen with smaller bezels? Well, you can max it out at 64 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of video memory, and get this, you can have a whopping 8 terabyte SSD inside. They also added back a physical escape key that Charleston Heston could have used.
Take your stinking paws off me.
And yes, they finally updated to a new keyboard. Now I've typed on the new keyboard and I can tell you it's a million times better and more satisfying than the 2018 edition.
It's magical.
Apple was kind enough to spread the keys out a little more and leave extra room between the touch bar
I want to put my in it.
and the top rows of the keys
I wanted to put its in me.
so that I hopefully stop launching porn sites, photo news sites, by accident.
It's boudoir.
Boudoir, it's art, Dan. It's erotica.
It almost looks like a tropical plant.
Inside, you find redesigned larger fans to help keep this version much cooler than the previous one. They also went ahead and added studio quality mics as well as a 6-speaker sound system. Now in the demos that I saw, the microphone sounded really good and the sound system sounded like a HomePod. But truthfully, how many times are you sitting at the coffee shop listening to that new Adele song going, "Isn't she just amazing? Doesn't the sound coming out of my laptop sound so good? No, you don't, because the hipsters would look at you with their vocal fry and go, excuse me, I'm trying to listen to a podcast over here and drink my latte. Could you kindly, like, if you're not offended, turn that Adele off? That's good, right?
This is really insensitive.
Was that vocal fry good? The base model 16-inch starts at $23.99, with the maxed out version, which I have right here, going for $6,100. Now don't worry, this is a loaner.
Lone Star.
Smells like bah. And finally, is the DSLR possibly not dead yet?
Not yet.
According to Nikon rumors, Nikon is getting ready to update the D750, which is by far one of the most popular cameras Nikon's ever made. Now, for a long time, that was my go-to recommendation anytime somebody asked me what full-frame camera should I start with. Now, before I get to the rumored specs, I do want to put into context my statement that DSLRs are dead. That statement is geared towards the working professionals who sit there and tell you that mirrorless cameras aren't there yet, and then they rattle off a bunch of statements that were true 5 years ago, but not today. Are DSLRs dead? No, they are still really popular, super abundant, and affordable on the used market, and a great place for beginners to learn. And let me be even more clear, there's nothing wrong with anyone using a DSLR. You can get a great photo with a tin can if you know what you're doing, or a Pentax for that matter. You see what I did there, Dan? Pentax. With that being said, here are the rumored specs of the D750 replacement. A 24 megapixel BSI CMOS sensor, dual SD card slots, articulating touchscreen, improved frames per second for raw shooting, 4K video, better ISO than the D850. Well, no shit, it should have better ISO than a camera with twice as many megapixels. The rumor is also saying it will have between 51 and 153 autofocusing points, which means, what's it have, like 102? It will also be slightly smaller and lighter than the D750 and be released in early 2020. The one thing it doesn't tell us is, what will it cost? The current price is $1,200, but is expected to go on sale for Black Friday for $999. Now, even at that price, I wouldn't recommend buying a D750 new at this point, because you can probably get one for almost half the price used. Now, if I had to guess, the new body will come in around $1,300, and based off of the rumored specs, it's going to be one solid DSLR. But the question I leave you with is it worth it to invest in a DSLR system in this day and age? And I'm gonna answer that. The answer is, it could be, especially if you can get some inexpensive used F-mount glass. And there you have it. That's your photo news fix. This time around, to check out the last fix, go ahead and click on the screen right here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. Jared, Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.